Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jacqui and today we're giving some yin love to our legs and feet. These are the foundations of our body. We stand on them all day, we run, we walk, we cycle, and they don't get nearly as much attention as our hips or our backs do. But today we're going to change that. By stretching out and massaging these areas, we can create a positive ripple effect throughout our entire body. We will be using a strap today. This is just the one that came with my yoga mat, but you can use anything like a scarf or a towel as well. And for today, the longer the strap, the more comfortable it's going to be. So come join me on the mat and we'll get started. Let's start in a toe sit. So coming onto your knees and just tucking your toes under and then sitting your weight on top of the heels of your feet. So you can stay here with your hands still on the mat, or if it's okay, you can come all the way back and sit on top of the heels of your feet. Roll the shoulders back, sit up nice and tall. We'll be staying here for a few minutes. It may not feel like anything at first, but after a while, it definitely does start to show itself. You'll be able to feel the stretch in the backs of your toes, in the soles of your feet, and also up your shin. But this stretch is so great because we never stretch out our feet this way very often and for so long. And if you've never rolled your feet out before on a foot roller or a tennis ball, I highly recommend it. It feels great after standing on your feet all day, or maybe doing a hike, or walking a lot, or wearing high heels. So try to stay with this pose as best as you can, and trying to stay as still as possible. If at any time it does get too intense, you're always welcome to take your hands forward so there's less weight on top of your feet. But if you can, try to stay upright. We'll take another 5 breaths here. Last breath. And very slowly take the hands forward. Gently untuck the toes. Place the tops of the feet on the mat and tap them out. Notice the blood and the fresh circulation and oxygen rushing back into the soles of your feet and the toes. And then placing the tops of the feet down, sitting your hips all the way back down on your heels again. Make sure there's enough room behind you. Take the hands behind, either fingers facing towards you or fingers facing away. I like to bring them facing towards me. And then make sure your sit bones are right on top of your heels. Roll the shoulders back and lift the chest up to the sky. And then lift the knees off the mat. Try to keep lifting up through your chest as your knees lift up. You should be feeling a nice stretch through the tops of your ankles. We won't stay here for too long. This is a very uncomfortable yin pose. We'll stay just for 5 slow, deep breaths. Try to stay with it as much as you can. Last breath. And slowly lowering the knees back down, walking the hands back towards your body. Come forward again. Maybe tap the feet out again. And then we'll take the right knee and cross it over the left, or behind the left thigh. Spread the feet a little bit wider and then sit your hips all the way back down onto the mat, coming into Gomukasana, or our cow face legs. And if I turn to face you, if you can, try to stack the knees one on top of the other. If not, that's also totally fine. You want to send the knee in the direction of having them stacked. So just thinking about sending it that way, even though they're not stacked. And your feet, if they are further away from your body, you'll get a more intense hip stretch. Otherwise, you can bring them closer and it will be less intense. So choose the variation that you would like to take. And then you can stay just up high or walk your hands forward and fold over your legs. I like to take a double fist with my hands and rest my forehead on my fists. We'll stay here for about 3 minutes. Coming to the first point of resistance. So that's the first point where you feel a slight stretch anywhere in your body. And with time and stillness, our body will open up and allow us to come deeper into the stretch. Try to focus on taking deep belly breaths and then letting your exhale come out nice and slow. If you are folded forward over your legs, try to really press your belly into your thighs as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, drawing your belly button back towards your spine. And noticing the space that you've created there to let yourself fold forward a little bit deeper. Let's take 5 more breaths here. If you feel that your body has opened up, you're welcome to come deeper. Otherwise, just stay where you are. Last breath. And on the next breath, if you're folded forward, lift your head up and walk your hands back towards your body. And then we'll come forward again onto all fours and across the legs. And just take any movement that you feel your body needs after that. And whenever you're ready, we'll come to the other side. Crossing the left knee behind the right, taking the feet slightly further apart, and then walking yourself back to sit down on the mat. Again, stacking the knees if they can, otherwise sending that top knee, the right knee, in the direction towards the left. And then moving your feet closer or further away from your body, depending on how much of an intense stretch you would like to feel. And you can stay up high or walk yourself forward. If you made double fists before, try to do it the other way. So if you had your left hand underneath, bring it on top, and then rest your head down. Stay here for another few minutes. Notice if you're holding on to tension anywhere in your body. And see if you can let go of your grip with every exhale that you take. We have 5 more breaths here. Last breath. And slowly lift your head back up if you're folded forward. Walk your hands back up. And then coming forward again onto all fours, uncrossing the legs, taking any movement here that you need to. And on the next breath, let's grab our strap for the next pose. So we're coming into our dragon lunge. So depending on the length of your strap, I'll show you if you have a short one first. So we'll take the right leg forward, coming into the lunge, and bend the left knee. If you can grab onto the foot, you can just use your hand and pull it towards you. Otherwise, if you have your strap, you'll make a little loop and then hook it over your foot, and then you can use a strap to pull the foot a little bit closer. What I've been liking to do lately with the longer strap, if we come out, is if it does have a hook like this, then you hook that over your foot. So we'll hook it over the left foot. Otherwise, you can also just tie a knot there. And then take this long side of the strap over the right shoulder. And then we'll come back into our lunge position. And then bend the left knee. And then take that strap over the right shoulder now. So now you have a really long strap to pull onto, and you can really allow the back foot to relax. If you're feeling really open, you can also come onto your elbows and just pull that strap down. So take the variation that suits you today, depending on what props you have or don't have, and depending on how deep you feel that you can come into this pose. We will be staying for about 3 minutes, so again trying to come just to that first point of resistance, which is probably about 80% of your full expression of this pose. We don't want to come too far too fast. If you can, try to let that left leg relax into the strap. And also hug the right knee close to the center line of your body. I find that by placing the strap over my opposite shoulder, I'm able to stop the leg from falling out to the outside edge of the mat, which lets me stretch a little bit more in the front of the quad. Because that's the area that I've been feeling super tight in lately. So just find the variation that works the best for how your body is feeling today. Let's take another 5 deep and slow breaths here. Try to stay with it as best as you can, knowing that you can always come out if it feels too much. Last breath. On the next breath, slowly release the strap however you have it. Straighten the left leg. Come up onto your hands if you're on your elbows, and very slowly and gently just shift the weight back over your left leg. Take any movements here that you feel you need. There's no wrong movement here, so just do whatever feels good. Whenever you're ready, we'll come to the other side. So releasing the strap from the left foot, however you had it, and we'll hook this over the right foot this time, or coming forward into your pose and then taking the loop around your right foot if you have a shorter strap. So hooked onto the right foot, taking it over my left side, and then taking the left foot forward, finding my lunge, and then taking the strap, bending the right leg, and bringing it over my left shoulder. Relaxing through the right leg, just letting the foot fall into the strap. And again, staying up high, or walking yourself down onto your elbows if you're feeling open enough. And the good thing is that you really have full control with this strap to make the pose more intense by pulling it more or releasing it more if you are feeling it's too intense. So try to hug again the legs into the center line of the body. And really focus on taking slow exhales, maybe even making them longer than your inhale. You might like to count to 4 for your inhale, and then release for 6 to 8 counts. When you can tap into your exhale like this, you're basically telling your body that you're safe in this pose and that you're fully in control. And that tells your body that you can relax and come deeper. You might notice as you take these long exhales that your body is gently and slowly opening up. Let's take 5 more breaths here. And I know that sometimes in these very intense yin positions, we get feelings of panic that you just want to get out of the pose as soon as possible. But if you're not feeling any sharp pain, if it just feels like a nice stretch, then try to stick with it. Keep your focus on the exhale. See if you can find a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of joy in the more intense poses. 1 more breath. And then very slowly releasing the strap, straightening through the right leg, very slowly and mindfully. Coming up onto your hands if you're on your elbow, and then shifting the weight back over your right leg. And take any movements that you need to here. The key is always to move as slowly as possible when you come out of yin poses. Especially the more intense they are, the more slowly you need to move. You might notice the blood rushing back into any areas that you just stretched right now. Try to enjoy that feeling as well. Alright, on the next breath, let's take the strap off the foot. We can place it over to the side. And we'll come into our last pose of broken shoelace. So straighten through the right leg, bend the left leg. We're going to take our socks off actually. So we can take them both off, throw them over to one side. And then we'll take the left ankle and cross it over the right thigh. And then take your fingers and we're going to place them in between each toe. If you can, try to bring the toes all the way up to the webs of the fingers. If you can't get all the fingers in, that's fine. You might like to do just 1 or maybe 2. So maybe just in between the big toe and the second toe, whatever feels alright for you. And it might feel really strange at first, but I promise it's going to feel really great afterwards. So then flexing through the right foot, you can either stay here or walk yourself forward into a forward fold. Maybe you place a fist on your shin and rest your head on top of your fist, or just let your head drop down slightly. Keep a hold of your left foot and then find relaxation through the entire body. Taking those deep breaths into your belly and even longer exhales out. You might like to close down your eyes to help you bring your attention inwards. Notice if you are gripping anywhere or holding on unnecessarily to tension anywhere in your body. I noticed I was just gripping with my right hand on my foot. And once you notice, acknowledge and then let it go. We'll take another 5 breaths here. On the next breath, if you're folded forward, lift your head up, walk yourself back upwards, and then you can release your fingers from your toes one by one, and maybe just point and flex your foot. Notice how the toes are feeling after that. And then when you're ready, we'll come to the other side. So bring the right foot on top of the left thigh. Flex the foot and then take the fingers in between each toe. You might like to use your other hand just to help spread the toes wide. Coming down to the webs of your fingers if you can. And then staying up high or walking yourself forward into a fold. Resting your head wherever it feels natural, or just dropping it down slightly if it doesn't reach. That is totally fine as well. So about another 3 minutes here. Again, notice if you are gripping anywhere. Maybe your hands, your face, your feet. See if you can let it go with every exhale. And you might notice that after you've let go, the tension comes back. Once you notice this, see if you can let go once again. We'll take 5 more breaths here. Alright, on your next breath, if you're in your forward fold, lift your head back up, walk yourself back up, and then release your fingers from your toes one by one. Take the legs out, flex and point the feet again. Notice how they're feeling. Maybe rolling the ankles. And then coming to sit in a cross-legged position again. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you were able to give your feet and your legs as much love as you could. If you liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know if you enjoyed this little sequence for your feet and your legs. Please also subscribe so I can continue to make more videos like this for you, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos that I release. I'll see you next time here on the mat. Namaste.